viewers, hello from Montenegro for this bit of the Autocar Show. Now this is a small Southeast European country which has beautiful views, as you can see, and great roads, so perfect for test driving Jaguar's newborn, the F Pace. And I can really say newborn because this is Jaguar's first foray into the segment of SUV or crossover, as you may call it. And that's probably because sister company Land Rover always occupied that terrain. Well, they say it's going to be entirely different. It's going to speak the language of Jaguar. What we have to find out is, does it? I picked the two engines that will be coming to India, the 2-litre Ingenium diesel and the 3-litre V6 diesel. As I settle into the 2-litre to begin with, the high and long bonnet makes me a little wary and I feel the size of this larger Jag. But soon I'm winding my way into corner after corner, feeling more and more at ease. It's just that the performance isn't exciting me just yet. I'm in the 2-litre now, and this one does the job, but as you can hear, it really toils at it and you can hear it at most times. It's happy to amble around, and as long as you're using it at part throttle, it's fine. It's when you put your foot down for more that you find it a little lacking. This engine comes with only 180 HP, and it's noticeable especially on gradients. The gearbox is constantly shifting down gears, running the engine up the revs, and you hear it at work most of the time. The spread of torque starts pretty low, so you're better off using the throttle lightly and driving it in a relaxed manner. Jaguar have probably chosen this state of tune to get the efficiency numbers. Now don't get me wrong, the 2-litre never struggles at all. It will get up to triple-digit speeds easily, just in a very linear, matter-of-fact manner. I decide I need to find out if the 3-litre will offer up more excitement value, and I change over. It doesn't disappoint me. This 3-litre engine is just so effortless. It puts a smile on your face almost instantly. You can extend your foot wherever you want in the range, and it just belches out this huge wave of torque that you can ride on endlessly. The figures are impressive, and it gets up to the 100 mark in just 6.2 seconds. And it does that without a sound, in a really buttery smooth manner. I often don't realize just how quick I'm going, and the corners come up in a flash as I wind my way up the hill. I'm enthralled by the way the F Pace is keeping me engaged. The F Pace is just so happy carving corners. The nose dives in eagerly, and the perfectly balanced body just follows through cleanly. Changes of direction come absolutely effortlessly, and on these twisty, windy sections of road, it's like a mountain goat. It's just so perfectly at home. Now I'm really excited. This 3-litre is better at delivering the thrill factor. So this 8-speed gearbox works really well with this engine. Swaps cogs seamlessly and quickly. You never really need to use the paddles. But should you want to get a little bit more out of that drive, use the paddles and the shifts come up instantly. The unfettered manner in which the F Pace keeps pace with all I ask of it is what's astounding. It's keeping me absolutely involved. And it's been fun, but now I want to go back to the 2-litre engine again and take in the differences, because I feel this is the more important one for India, and it's time to go back. Now when you get back into the 2-litre after driving the 3-litre, the gap in power is even more yawning, and that definitely is the more thrilling one to drive. I feel like, where's that extra litre when I need it? But to be fair, it's because I'm expecting a sporty Jag. The 2-litre works well for the most, and the dynamics are enough to excite even without the additional power. Now this electric power assisted steering is really quite incredible. Small deflections bring about reactions and it feels quite accurate and sharp. Makes you feel very connected to the road. The light aluminium body, the stiff chassis and the four-wheel drive system deliver oodles of grip and ensure that the F Pace will offer you enough to excite. In fact, the 2-litre engine being a little lighter feels even more eager around the corners. Now you have different driving modes and in normal it feels good enough. But of course you can also select dynamic where you can actually set it to an individual setting to figure, whether you want the gearbox to react quicker, the engine, the suspension or the steering, or then all of them. And knowing me, I'm the one that likes everything working quicker. And when it is in dynamic mode, this car is just even more thrilling to drive. And of course, there is the all-terrain mode too, and we decide to try our hand at a spot of off-roading to see if this is truly an SUV. The F Pace proves itself there too, and it can clamber up and down grassy knolls and over a fair amount of rough stuff. Just don't have to worry about what's underneath. So it's proven itself fairly well from behind the wheel, but the true test in India will be from the back seat. Well, this is the space that most people are going to be sitting in India, the back seat. I own a Q5 and I can definitely tell you there's more leg room in here than in the Q5. So as far as comfort goes, this one definitely scores high. The F Pace has a wheelbase that's larger than its competition, and that happened thanks to keeping true to Ian Callum's design language. Not only has it helped with the dynamics, but it's opened up more room inside, and the rear seat with its rectangular windows and panoramic sunroof feels spacious. What's really great about the F Pace is the ride handling compromise. Generally, when you have a sharp handling car, it's really difficult to get the ride right because there's a certain amount of stiffness. But I think it's been beautifully done here because the F Pace just smothers the road. It doesn't let you know what's going on under the wheels, and you're absolutely comfortable in this back seat. Now, the 2-litre does have a little firmer edge over the sharper road gaps and bumps, but the 3-litre absolutely flattens everything out. It's been an exhilarating time. But now it's time to stop and take stock of what else is on offer. The interior of the F Pace feels every bit luxury as it should. There's a beautiful double-stitched leather across the top of the dash. There's that cowl that gives it a sporty feeling, which is very familiar to us now. And of course, you have this ambient lighting, which highlights it, but that you can see once it gets dark. There's a very large touchscreen here, and the system itself has become very evolved. There are some lower-end plastics at the lower half of the dash, and the 2-litre comes with a manual lock to adjust the steering height. But at this time, we don't know what the spec level will be that comes into India. What we do know is that the F Pace will turn heads. It has all the Jaguar DNA with a long bonnet, short overhang, and the F-type derived tail lights. But what makes it special is the way the metal is just so tautly stretched across the body. Small creases create highlights, and its tightly skinned look with the steeply raked front and rear windscreens lend it a sporty air. Yes, it is stunning to look at too. The F Pace is expected in India in the second half of this year, probably around Diwali. At conceptualization stage, the brief for the F Pace was really to make a larger, more practical Jag, an SUV or a crossover that was something like the BMW X3 or the Audi Q5. Well, after that came the Macan, and it sent everyone back to the drawing board saying, hey, why can't we make it thrilling to drive? We have that in our DNA. So that's what they did. Here's the F Pace, and I asked myself at the beginning of the story, does it speak the Jaguar language? Does it have the DNA? And I can say, yes, it definitely does. It's hot to look at. It's luxurious, and it is thrilling to drive. But now it comes with a good dose of practicality. It's got a spacious interior and a big boot. So they did tick off all the boxes they set out to. Does it have what it takes to take on the competition? Well, they're definitely going to have to sit up and take notice and be worried about this Jaguar F Pace. As for India, price will matter, but since we don't have the prices just yet, to answer your question, should I buy one? It's an emphatic yes, and if you prefer being behind the wheel, then definitely 3 litre over the 2.